Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Skyrim Special Edition. So, we're trying to find the quest here in the city that leads to the quest of joining the Assassin's Guild. And I think to find it, we're going to have to be a little bit more liberal about talking to people and starting other quests, which is fine because we're kind of out of those. I think I'm going to have to just go talk to the Jarl. The Palace of the Kings is here. So let's go talk to her or him and see if we can start a quest this way.
Give us a straight answer.
He's a true Nord. He'll come around.
Don't be so sure of that. We've intercepted couriers from Solitude. The Empire's putting a great deal of pressure on Whiterun.
And what would you have me do?
They're having a conversation, they're not even in the same room.
He knows that. They all know that.
How long are you going to wait?
You think I need to send Bolgraf a stronger message?
If by message you mean shoving a sword through his gullet.
Taking his city and leaving him in disgrace would make a more powerful statement, don't you think?
So we're ready to start this war in earnest then?
Soon.
I still say you should take them all out like you did dead King Torrig.
Torrig was merely a message to the other Jarls. Whoever we replace them with will need the support of our armies.
We're ready when you are.
Things hinge on Whiterun. If we can take the city without bloodshed, all the better. But if not...
The people are behind you.
Many, I fear, still need convincing.
Then let them die with their false kings.
We've been soldiers a long time. We know the price of freedom. But people are still weighing things in their hearts.
What's left of Skyrim to wager?
They have families to think of.
How many of their sons and daughters follow your banner? We are their families.
Well put, friend. Tell me, Godmar, why do you fight for me?
I'd follow you into the depths of oblivion. You know that.
This is a good conversation. It's a shame they keep walking around.
If not for me, what then?
They didn't bother to script
I'll die before elves
them
dictate the
standing
fates of
somewhere.
men. Are we not one in this?
I fight for the men I've held in my arms, dying on foreign soil. I fight for their wives and children whose names I heard whispered in their last breath. I fight for we few who did come home, only to find our country full of strangers wearing familiar faces. I fight for my people, impoverished to pay the debts of an empire too weak to rule them, yet brands them criminals for wanting to rule themselves. I fight so that all the fighting I've already done hasn't been for nothing. I fight because I must.
Your words give voice to what we all feel, Wolfric. And that's why you will be High King. But the day words are enough will be the day when soldiers like us are no longer needed.
I would gladly retire from the world, were such a day to dawn.
Aye. But in the meantime, we have a war to plan.
This is still going on. So it's weird that all the Jarls have this weird sitting animation.
Empire's ravenous hunger for Skyrim silver makes them fierce. But rest assured, we'll win the Reach and wrest it from their greedy paws.
Like, even when I sit on the throne, I have this weird resting of one arm that probably was cool. So this is the guy we talked to join the Stormcloaks. And we'll almost certainly are going to have to do that at some point to do the Civil War. We could join the Imperial Legion, but there's really no good reason to do that. Wow, I did not realize of the miscellaneous quests, everything has either been knocked off as unfinishable or finished or something else. I look at all these quests we've done. That's a lot. Yeah, there's really no reason since you start the game almost getting killed by the Imperial Legion that you would join them. I don't think very many players would. Even if I had chosen a different race,
They've
you
never
start
had
in the
many
same
problems
place.
with the Empire.
Those milk drinkers might as well be
These
elves.
guys just keep going too.
Better than us.
This should have been a
Regardless,
cutscene.
It appears Skyrim must stand alone. Again.
They're just gonna keep talking. Let's talk to this guy.
Only the foolish or the courageous approach a Jarl without summons. Do I know you?
I believe we've already met. I was at Helgen.
Ah, yes. Destined for the chopping block, if I'm not mistaken.
This is the guy. Let's see. I was set free. I could have gone anywhere. I came here to fight the Empire. I helped Roloff escape. He said he'd vouch for me.
Raloff's alive. I hope that's true. He's a damn good man, but he hasn't returned yet. So I'll need to wait for his account. For now, speak with Galmar. I'm always looking for able fighters. Not everyone can say they made it out of Helgen. Seems we're all branded villains these days. So long as your criminal past stays in the past, and you fight for me with honor and integrity, we'll welcome you into our ranks.
I've mostly not been a
But in the
crook,
meantime, we have a war to plan.
and so no quest line here. Let's talk to this guy.
Helgen, huh? Ulfric told us quite the story. If you made it through all that, you're likely worth something to me. Now, but first, tell me, why does a foreigner want to fight for Skyrim?
Interesting. Skyrim is my home. I guess Skyrim is my home now. I do have a home.
Fair enough. But are you willing to die for your home?
Let's see. Do I want to join? No, not yet.
Watch yourself out there.
So if this isn't the quest,
It's no secret the Aretino boy is doing some ritual, trying to call the Dark Brotherhood. But who's going to stop him? Me? I'll have no part of that.
talk to Aventus Arentino. He is the one we are looking for. Seeing, I have paper and a charcoal, and I should be able to do a rubbing there, but I guess I can't. I don't think you can, but in a few points.
Then it's true, what everyone is saying. That Aventus Aretino is doing the Black Sacrament, trying to summon the Dark Brotherhood?
Oh, Grimbar. Always with the nonsense. No, of course not. Those are just tales.
Fine, then I'll invite him out to play. He lives right there. I'm going to knock on his door.
No, child. Wait! That boy, that house, they are cursed.
Ha! Then I'm right. I knew it. He's trying to have somebody killed.
All right. I won't deny it, child. What you heard is true. But Aventus Aretino walks a dark path. His actions can lead only to ruin. Now, enough. We will speak no more of this. I am the only friend you need.
So, what's with the lighting flickering? Man, this game, for a special edition, it's still not fixing that problem. Here we go. Still not fixing some major issues. So we'll just come in here and talk to the boy.
Sweet mother, send your child unto me, for the sins of the unworthy must be baptized in blood and fear.
That doesn't sound
Grow,
nice.
You old crone. You'll get what you deserve. The Dark Brotherhood will see to that. Please, how long must I do this? I keep praying, Night Mother. Why won't you answer me? Grow, you old crone.
So
You'll get what you
Grialod.
deserve. The Dark Brotherhood will see to that. Please, how long must I do this? I keep praying, Night Mother. Why won't you answer me?
So this is a
Sweet mother, send your child unto me for the sins of
A
the
Kiss,
unworthy
Sweet
must be
Mother is the
baptized
book.
in blood and fear.
He's got a skeleton.
Sweet mother, send your child unto me for the sins of the unworthy must be baptized in blood and fear.
Let's talk to him.
Die, Grella, die! Finally, my prayers have been answered.
Are you alright? No.
It worked! I knew you'd come, I just knew it! I did the Black Sacrament over and over with the body and the things, and then you came, an assassin from the Dark Brotherhood.
No, I'm not an assassin. And so I'm just going to remain silent.
You don't have to say anything. There's no need. You're here, so I know you'll accept my contract.
Contract?
My mother, she died. I'm all alone now. So they sent me to that terrible orphanage in Riften.
Oh,
Honor
it's
Hall.
in
The
Riften.
headmistress is an evil, cruel woman. They call her Grella the Kind, but she's not kind. She's terrible to all of us. So I ran away and came home and performed the Black Sacrament. Now you're here, and you could kill Grella the Kind.
Okay.
Sorry. To be honest, I'm kind of lonely here. As much as I hated getting sent to Honor Hall, I really miss my friends there.
So, we now have the quest to kill Grella the Kind. And there's an area up here. Like, could I make this? I guess I can. Is there anything over here? Nope. So, where on the map is that going to take me? Probably to Riften, which I may not have even been in Riften. Where is Riften? Ah. Oh, so this is Riften. So the orphanage is over here. Ah. Let's walk into the Honor Hall orphanage. So if you kill the parents of any of the kids running around, they will end up in this orphanage.
Those who shirk their duties will get an extra beating. Do I make myself clear?
Yes, Grella.
I'm glad they make it easy.
I will hear no more talk of adoptions. None of you riffraff is getting adopted, ever. Nobody needs you. Nobody wants.
Let's go ahead and equip our weapon.
That, my darlings, is why you're here. Why you will always be here. Until the day you come of age and get thrown into that wide, horrible world. Now, what do you all say?
We love you, Grella. Thank you for your kindness.
That's better. Now scurry off, my little gutter snipes.
So,
Don't even think about it.
so we have
Get yourself
several.
a kid, you're out of luck. No way Grilla would let any of us get adopted.
I do
Especially
really afraid of
especially not since
adopting
Avengers
kids.
took over. Ever since
The
Avengers
stores are
left,
running
Grilla's
low.
been even
We'll need to water down the milk again. Besides,
She's gonna kill
we don't want the little darlings getting fat.
Okay, okay, I'll deal with it.
So we're just waiting for everybody to leave, I guess. Now, the Pig Children. Interesting. That's a book I don't have. Instead of putting something in here, I'm gonna try and see if I can put a poison in her. Like this potent poison. Can I give it to her and see if that kills her? No, it doesn't. There's something here you can do where you can put a potion of paralysis, like put that
Let's
in there.
get going. Lead on then.
Somebody help!
Alright. Close enough.
It's Gorilla.
No more! I yield! I yield!
So the kids are happy.
Just
When Aventus
leave here.
escaped, Gorilla
Leave us
got meaner
alone.
than ever. I really thought she was going to kill one of us. Guess not.
victory is yours! I submit!
So, contract fulfilled. And they certainly don't make you feel bad about it, do they? We've had this whole game make it pretty easy. It's not mature, difficult decision there to kill a mean old lady who's being very abusive to the kids. See, the story could have been written so much better there. They could have said, he could have said she was awful. We could have found no evidence that she was awful. It could have been that she was just making them do chores or not eat cookies before their dinner.
Well, Gorilla the Kind. Is she, you know?
Making it so obvious is just kind of boring storytelling.
Aha! I knew you could do it. I just knew it. I knew the Dark Brotherhood would save me. Here, just like I promised. This should fetch you a nice price. Thank you. Thank you again.
So, innocence lost, he just had somebody killed. And I have the Arantino family heirlooms, and I could take the lavender and frost salts. I guess I'll take that too, since I can take things. Letter from the steward. Take that. Holes in the floor. Firewood. I actually could use firewood more. I wish we could pick up more firewood. Search the dresser. Is there any opportunity to adopt this kid?
When I grow up, I'm going to be an assassin. That way I can help lots of children just like you.
Nightshades, human heart, human flesh, and skeletons. Man, that kid certainly was not playing around. And let's look at the family heirloom. So that's the beginning there of, let's see, all and it's 100 gold plate. I'll hold on to that. That's the beginning of it. And we'll have to wait a little while to go further with it. So I'm gonna find another quest because there's been murders going around this place. Or I could go do the white file. It is an interesting question as far as how much of this story do I really want to do? Because there's always going to be more and more.
Hold it there. Keep your distance.
Let's, we'll start a quest here. What happened
Another
here?
girl killed. This is Susanna from Candlehearth Hall. Served me a drink just a few nights ago, but I can't say I knew her.
Another. Has this happened before?
Susanna's the third. It's always the same. Young girl killed at night, body torn up.
Are the murders being investigated?
We're stretched thin as it is with the war. Nobody has the time to spend on this. Not pleasant, but it's the truth.
Could you
If
use
you
some
want
help?
to help, ask some of these gawkers if they saw anything useful. I'm going to examine the body before the rats can get to it.
So what's funny is we had a similar quest in The Witcher 3, and you had to go into a coroner's room and investigate the body. There was an entire mini game to it. And here, you've just got a naked dead girl on the top of a casket in the outside with people just standing around.
Always sad when someone has to die. Sorry, I thought I saw a fellow running away, but didn't get a good look at him.
Another one. Terrible.
Did you see what happened?
I heard a scream and came running, but she was already like this when I got here.
Susanna the Wicked. She had a lockpick. I guess I'll take the gold. Ring of blocking, ring. He definitely wasn't robbed. She had a knife on her. Too.
Been a murder over in Riften.
I'll take the dagger just in case
Some
that's
old
the
lady
murder
who runs
weapon.
an orphanage. Those poor children must be heartbroken.
Not really.
No, sorry. But I did notice that her coin purse was still intact, so whoever did this wasn't after gold. I'm going to keep preparing the body, if you'll excuse me.
You should unload some of that unwanted
Report to
gear.
guard.
Head over to Sadri's used wares. Talk to the elf.
Yep.
I mostly deal with petty thievery and drunken brawls. Just like always, nobody saw anything useful. The bastards escaped again.
I ask only for a little
Look, friend. If you think you can do better than the Legion of Guards, be my guest. You'll need to talk to your life, though. We can't just let anyone go around claiming to be an official business. If he's willing, then we'll talk.
So now I have to go report to Yorlif.
Will you spare a few coins to help someone who's got nothing?
There's also... Is it nighttime still? I have 4 wolf pelts, 1 deer hide. I had a bunch of pelts here that I could turn into leather. I might do that later. It's actually heavier to turn it into leather than it is to keep it in its current form. So let's find Yorlif.
I was one of the best soldiers in the Stormcloak army.
He took a sword to the chest instead of an arrow to the knee. And see, that doesn't get said as often because you just don't spend as much time in this city, and then thus it never became a big factor or joke.
He's a true Nord.
Let's talk to this guy.
Whatever you've heard I can do is probably true.
Let's see.
Mind what or who you practice this on.
All this guy does is train me.
And what would you have me do?
If
This
he's
is
not with us, he's against us.
He knows
down
that.
this way.
They all know that.
How long are you going to wait?
You think I need
The
to
Cake
send
and the
Paul down
Diamond.
stronger?
I already read that book almost certainly.
If by
Don't want to
message
steal
you mean
from
shoving a sword through
this
his
guy.
gullet,
Taking his city
This
and
guy's
leaving
asleep.
him in disgrace would make a more powerful statement, don't you think?
Let's go talk
so
to him.
we're ready to start this
Let me
war in earnest.
actually see if I can cook something. That would be interesting.
I still say you should take them all out like you did.
Horse
Yeti.
haunch, mammoth
Or
steak,
it was merely a message to the other
and
Jarl.
venison shop.
Whoever we replace them with.
I wish that would give me experience or something.
We're ready when you are.
Let's talk to this
Stormcloaks
guy.
are finding victory across the land.
The people are behind you.
Let's see.
These are difficult times indeed, when men stalk their brethren like beasts. My men are stretched thin as it is. If you offer your aid, I gladly accept. The guards will be told to assist you as necessary. I'm happy to lend a hand as much as I can as well.
So, let's go examine the crime scene. Is that really our quest? Get assistance from Yarlith? What assistance?
I'm not much of a strategist, but Lord Ulfric listens to my count. Grew up here. Old as Admora, but that just grows the beard sticker. Lot of history in these walls. We're trying to make some more. It's a lucky time to be alive. For Ulfric? Well, nothing official. Known him for years. He seems to value my thoughts.
We're still in the conversation in the background.
I don't really have a mind for war.
It's kind of annoying.
He likes having an untrained opinion from time to time.
So I can't get any assistance from him. At least I don't know a way to get assistance from him, which is fine. And see, they're having the same conversation that they've had before. I think they probably needed to put a timer.
To the northeast lies Inglebarrow. Steer clear of that foul place, lest the Walking Dead claim you as their own.
And see, the map has now been updated. I mean, you cannot avoid some of this. Here's the barrow they were talking about just now. Just walking around the city, you start to get more and more things on your map. Doesn't matter what you try, how quick or precise you're trying to be. And see, I guess she was just murdered here.
Trouble?
Nightshade. And
go fiddling with any locks around here. We're going to have a real problem.
Well, I already have
Fancy
done that.
yourself an alchemist, huh? All right then. I noticed a trail of blood leading away from here. Helgerd's taken the body into the Hall of the Dead to prepare for burial. She's a little crazy, but if she knows anything, it's dead bodies.
So, Helgrid or follow the dead body, the bloody path. Let's go talk to Helgrid and Hall of the Dead. Maybe we'll run into some skeletons. We can use the Wobblejack. And don't really have any reason why I'd want to steal anything. Firewood. That's about the only thing I need. So we're kind of fiddling around until the Assassin's Brotherhood starts that quest. A noticeable lack of draugrs in this area. I guess if you keep the places well lit, draugrs don't show up for a while.
Large diagonal cut from left shoulder.
Let's see, there's quite a lot of grave spaces here. So maybe there's a lot of people in this city. And this might very well be that looks like a trapdoor. Might be the reason why all the other cities are smaller, is simply because for every city they kind of need a Hall of the Dead to hold each character. There's entire systems here that they've implemented that most players probably won't even recognize. She doesn't have anything on her anymore. Let's talk to her.
Large diagonal cut from left shoulder. Well, she's dead, but I guess that's not unusual, at least not for somebody in here. I mean, someone who's not me, that is.
I wish she had turned and
Sorry,
talked to me.
I was only joking with you. Not really. The only unusual thing is the shape of the cuts. They look like they were made with, well, the ancient Nords used these kinds of curved blades when they embalmed their dead. I don't know who in Windhelm would even have something like that. Other than me, of course. I'm too busy tending to the dead to spend my time making more of them. And I wouldn't very well tell you about the cuts if I had made them, now would I? Now, I really got to get back to the body. Lot of work to prepare her for the grave.
So we talked to her, and if we can find some embalming tools in somebody's house, we can probably find some evidence against him. But I think this is going to be a pretty quick murder mystery that happens here. Unlike some of the mods that put out murder mysteries, I mean, the storytelling here is not super long or super intricate. It's just these quick little vignettes that feels like very possibly a level programmer or game developer was told to write a story in one day, and they came out with some very generalized stories. Is Fallout 4 any better at that? Not really. So it's in this house. Get access to Hydrum. I think I can get access to Hydrum just fine. Just gotta figure it out. Like, Fallout 4's original tale is you're looking for your kid, and then you spend your 200 hours there in that game looking for the kid, and then near the very end you find it. And that's kind of it. Having not played Fallout 4 myself, I can't say if there's any real side stories in there that really help. There's also in the Fallout series a level of comedy that's simply not going to exist. Looking for clues in Skyrim, because Skyrim is attempting to be more of a realistic turn of events here. From the marks on the floor, it looks like the box was pushed against the wall recently. Beware the Butcher in the Butcher Journal. Let's read that, and while we're at it, let's also read everything else we've got. So, I'm really not of the idea of trying to have one of every book, but I will definitely keep the Mystic Dawn commentaries because they're special books. But apparently I didn't even have telekinesis. That's more reason why I think I should probably hold on to things. What is the Pig Children about? Well, they now that the oldest dark elf that recalled and danger oblivion, conjuring up scarce created constant threat to the well. Blah blah blah. Pause now if you want to read it. Pause now if you want to read the next page. And pause now if you want to read the third page. I have no reason why that's called the Pig Children. That seemed to be just an orc story tale. So, if it's recently been pushed up against the wall, what, it was over here? I think this house actually... Investigate pots and pans. They haven't been used for a while. So I'm going to have to investigate all the items in the house. I think this house actually is yours after this investigation. So... I If you want a house the killer is in. Investigate the wardrobe. Seems to be nailed to the wall for some reason. False back panel. Take the bucket. Take the wine. Dagger. Investigate the altar. Take this book. So somebody's doing some religious weapons. Embalming tools. Embalming tools. Embalming tools. Embalming tools. Linen wraps. All of that is evidence of what they're doing, which is definitely butchering people. More mead, bread, goat cheese. Let's see, find boots, find boots, find clothes. Kinda don't have any reason for that. Small shelf. Beware the butcher. Take all those. There was a necklace in there that we found. Let's see, apparel. Strange amulet. So I wonder if somebody's wearing this strange amulet and it's transforming them into some kind of monster, or in some other ways giving them special abilities to kill. Maybe the beware the butcher letters are to be taken literally and not there to spread fear. Stacked chairs. Old-fashioned bed. So it seems like there's nobody here. And this would be a moderately big house. It's not as divided as the house we built, but that wasn't originally available in the game. The chest was here originally, and then it got pushed over there. And I think I've probably exhausted everything. So now, what's the quest tell us? Follow up with the clues with Hiram. So run this way. And where?
Be on the lookout. The butcher could be around any corner.
True. There's... Where
Hail,
is...
companion.
Wish I could just pick up this firewood. Why is there firewood everywhere and yet I can't pick up any of it? Guess I'm talking to the guy in charge of the investigation.
Won't give us a straight answer.
He's a true Nord. He'll come around.
The Stormcloak.
So we're gonna talk to this guy.
Strategist, but Lord Ulfric listens to my counsel all the same.
Can you tell me anything about the butcher?
Have you been talking to Viola Giordano? She posts those all over the city, and someone keeps taking them down. Ask her about it if you want an earful.
Interesting.
I've never seen anything like it. I would take this to Calixto at the House of Curiosities. He has a good eye for strange trinkets. Might even give you a bit of gold for it.
Interesting.
Travel safely.
Leaving him in
It's
disgrace would
dangerous
make a
out
more
there.
powerful statement, don't you think?
So we're ready to
So
war in earnest then.
we've got to go talk to a couple of people out here. They're just having us investigate for real. But there's a mod called The Forgotten City, I believe, that's kind of a way bigger version of this.
The Imperials right now if it wasn't for my world.
Like, and probably a more interesting one.
Spare a coin for
Are you running away because someone's chasing you, or are you just running? Let's see, Nihilus,
I
Narama,
travel more. Who wants to deal with all the soldiers these days?
Nus,
I lost my twin sister a while back.
this.
Have you ever lost anyone close? My father says we need to just get on with our lives. It's that easy.
Let's go talk to this guy.
Everyone says Yorland Greymane is the best smith in Skyrim. I plan to change a few minds about that.
So let's just
Take a
ask him what
look.
he's got on sale and buy some stuff. And I'm kind of only really need steel, silver, a lockpick, leather, and I don't even think I need iron too much, but I guess I'll take it. And then I have to find some things to sell to him. Staff of Charming, Iron Dagger, Steel Arrows. Circlet we can sell. And sell this Ring of Minor Blocking. I'll keep that actually. And I could probably sell the vampire stuff, but I don't want to. We've got plenty of potions to get rid of. Let's see, paralysis, poison. I still want to hold on to that, but water breathing for 45 seconds, water breathing for 30 seconds. We'll sell one of those. Get rid of all the magicka regen. And see, I've got more stuff I could have bought, I guess. Of course, I'm probably very much trading heavier items for lighter items, making the exact opposite of the right decision. Ebony arrows. Let's see. No, you don't have any ebony arrows, you just have elven arrows. Do you have any glass arrows? Nope. So I may find myself overwhelmed. Weakness to poison, fear poison, frenzy poison, brief invisibility, 20 seconds. Let's sell one of those. I think I could probably sell this too. Let's see. Fortified carry weight, carrying capacity is 21. Fortified destruction. Fortified heavy armor. Maybe. Fortified magicka. Fortified magicka one-handed restoration, two-handed, two-handed. Potion of healing for 50 points. Probably not needed. Illusion. Invisibility. Minor healing. Minor magicka. Minor stamina. Plentiful healing at 75. Plentiful stamina. Regenerate health. And we'll sell that.
Whether it's armor you need or a new blade, come see me.
Working in Windhelm is great. I get to see Ulfric up close.
So
There's
We
no
could come back
glory in
here
war.
and just make sure
It's just something they tell
we don't have
soldiers so
anything
they'll
to
risk their lives.
disenchant.
If you're looking to get a drink, Candlehearth Hall's got warm fires and strong ale.
I made my fortune as a sea captain, but now I'm retired. The townsfolk call me captain because I used to be a sailor.
Interesting, leave that guy
Winds and
alone,
calm
but he
sea.
almost
You need
certainly...
anything.
Some may call this junk. Me, I call them treasures.
And see, he's not even actually selling food. Interesting. Just buy a child's doll. Deer hide. Lesser soul gem. Lockpicks. Petty soul gems. This. He's just got a couple potions and some hides elements. Like, maybe I should buy some of these weapons, some of the jewelry, instead of sell things. But I don't think I need to. I still think I have a massive amount of potions I need to get rid of. I'm trying to get alchemy. So, nothing over here on the rich side, and I guess it is somewhat of an overstatement to call that the rich side. Let's see, we need to find the curiosities, and let's see. Nope. Here it goes. House of Curiosities. We'll wait 1 hour and see if it's open. Seriously? Yeah.
You lost?
Nope. So he may actually have several things that could only be purchased here. Like the Book of Fate, for instance, I know for a fact is a storyline thing that you can only find here.
My sister and I once traveled the world to assemble our collection. Such adventures we had.
An empty chest here to steal from. And he lives here. And let's see what's up. What's up here? He's got something in there, but whatever.
I don't care much for the war one way or the other.
Let's take the tour.
Indeed I did. For a few septims, I'll tell you about some of the most interesting curiosities in my collection.
Sure.
Splendid. If you'll just follow me, I'll tell you tales and show you wonders such as you've never seen. These tools were found in a crypt outside Windhelm. They belong to the ancient Nords who dwelt in Skyrim before the days of the First Empire.
Yeah, I've seen those.
Most scholars believe that the Nords of old used these implements to prepare their dead for burial.
And
What
that's why they're
macabre
draugrs, I
mysteries
bet.
would these tools reveal if they could but speak?
Maybe if I hit them with the wobblejack, they would
Here's
speak.
the Book of Fate, discovered in a secret room in the Arcane University. The writing in the book describes the destiny of its reader, so the words change from one person to the next.
What's
Some
funny is
see
I
only
looked at
blank
it,
pages,
blank pages.
and nobody knows why. Perhaps some of us are born with no destiny, or maybe the blank pages signify an imminent death.
Uh-oh. How about the iron ingots? He's only talking about one thing on the shelves.
Ah, now here's an item out of legend. This is Ysgramor's soup spoon. Now, I know what you're thinking. This is no spoon, it's a fork. Nobody can eat soup with a fork.
It's
Well, my
labeled
friend,
that.
You did not know Ysgramor.
So that's a named item there.
Don't let this innocent-looking flute fool you, for this is the dancer's pipe. Legend holds that the dancer's pipe has won wars, toppled empires, and changed the very course of history. None know its origins, but the stories say that men who hear its music are compelled to dance uncontrollably, no matter the peril. To activate this strange power, one must only speak the magic words, which are... Oh my! I very nearly got us both into a nasty predicament, didn't I?
So we don't know the magic words to make it work.
And with that, the tour is over. I thank you for your patronage, and I hope to see you again soon.
This may be the only hoe in the game, too. Interesting. So, if there's items I wanted, I would have to steal them. And again, if we read the Book of Fate, it's just blank. Let's talk to him.
To the House of Curiosities.
How do you assemble this collection?
My sister and I inherited a modest sum of money. We decided to travel and seek out whatever adventures we could find. As we journeyed across Tamriel, we encountered tales of exotic and wondrous artifacts. We decided to collect as many as we could. My sister passed away some years ago, so I settled down here and opened the House of Curiosities. I think she would be happy to know that our collection has brought smiles to faces both young and old.
So, do you know anything about this amulet?
Let me see. Ah, yes. This is the Wheelstone. It's an heirloom symbol of the power of Windhelm. Traditionally, it's carried by the court mage. I would be interested in acquiring it, if you're willing to part with it, that is. For a piece like that, I could pay 500 gold.
Shouldn't the court mage have it?
Wunferth? Bah, it's purely ceremonial, and he has no use for it. Besides, I wouldn't want to be the one to give it to him. Gives me the creeps. They say he dabbles in necromancy.
Interesting. I think I better hold on to it for a while.
It's only of value to collectors, though. Good luck finding anyone else who will appraise it that highly. A most pleasant chat. Until the next.
So signs are now pointing towards the court guard, court mage. Is that a real quest you want?
If it's bed or board you're after, Candlehearth Hall's got both. Until next time.
No, she doesn't. That's not a real quest. This is another way out. By the way, we're just in this mess. Here she is.
After what happened to those other women, I'm worried about my own safety.
What can you tell me about the butcher?
I've been following him for months now. Well, not actually following. Trying to find him. The guards won't help. The people won't help. I'm the only one who thinks he can be caught.
Let's see. Why can't the guards help? I found this journal in the killer's lair. We'll do that one last.
They say they're too busy with a war. I say, what good is winning a war if we're still terrorized by one of our own? Oh, they care, all right. Just none of them thinks to do anything about it. They say I'm just snooping around bothering people. But I'm trying to save lives.
Okay. Tell me about this journal.
Huh? What's it say?
Sounds like the court mage has been experimenting.
Wunferth. There have been rumors swirling about him for years. As long as I can remember. But he's a dangerous man. That's why they call him the Unliving. I wouldn't approach him directly. This information needs to go straight to the steward. He'll listen to you.
So now we go back. Let's see. This way?
Fear for the bow, eh? I'm a sword man.
I wish you could play this game with a sword. It just doesn't feel like you can.
The Stormcloaks are
Feels
fighting
like
victory across
also
the
there's
land.
too many archers in the game to not go archer versus archer. Maybe that's because I play as a bow and the game adjusts, but as
I'm
it
not much of a
is.
strategist, but Lord Ulfric listens to my counsel all the same.
So I don't think there's multiple people you can even accuse. I think this is the killer and we found it and we've done the quest.
That's quite an accusation. I assume you have proof?
I have evidence of necromancy and I've found his amulet.
I don't want to believe it. Woundfirth has been a trusted friend to Ulfric for many years. It pains me to see that the Whispers had truth to them. Woundfirth shall be apprehended. I thank you for your diligence in getting to the bottom of this matter. The streets of Windhelm are now safe.
Soon.
I still say you should take them all out
So,
like you did dead King Torrig.
that whole quest
Clearly a
is
message
now
from the
done.
Jarls. Whoever we replace them with will need the support of our armies.
Is he going to do?
You're coming with me. We're
Things
finally going
hinge
to
on
arrest the
Whiterun.
butcher.
If
Yes,
we can
sir.
take the city without bloodshed, all the better. But if not,
Let's go ahead and equip the Wobblejack and see what happens.
Behind you.
many, I fear, still need convincing.
And let them die with their false king.
Palace of the King's upstairs.
I do the cooking and cleaning around the palace.
See, I didn't even come up here and look.
What is the meaning of this?
You're under the arrest for the murder of Susanna of Candlehearth Hall, and Frigga Shattershield, and all the rest. We are wise to your scheming, you coward.
Has the whole city lost their brains? I've been scrying and auguring to find the murderer myself.
Make your excuses from the Bloodworks, wizard. Get him out of my sight. Yes, sir. I'm sorry, sir, but you'll have to come with me.
This isn't over, your Leif.
People popping in and disappearing like crazy. While we're over here, we'll look and see if we have anything to disenchant. I suspect there's probably not that much of items. Ooh. There's another stone. But no way we're going to find all 24 of those. That's highly, highly unlikely.
Everything all right?
And then over here is just kind of barracks guards. And over here is some more barracks guard for the guards. Come on. Over here is just a place for them to eat. See, they seem to spend a lot of effort to design these rooms, when in all
Fancy yourself an
actuality,
alchemist, huh? Never could get the hang of that.
you're never gonna use any of that. Let's see, and they're all stuck
I
over
do the
here.
cooking and cleaning around the palace.
So we'll come out
How
here.
many of their sons and daughters follow your banner? We are their families.
Well put, friend. Tell me, Garmar, why do you fight for me?
I'd follow you into the depths of oblivion. You know that.
Yes, but
And see, they're having trouble just loading.
not for me. What
So I'm gonna walk into the
I'll
barracks
die
too
before elves
and see what happens now.
Hail, companion.
Hail companion, nice. And where do they go from there? There has to be a jail cell that they put them in. Unless they just did put him in the barracks.
What business do college mages have in a place like Sarthal anyway? It's a place for Nord dead, not your weird experiments.
Yep. And we are down here. And let's see. So this is what the prison would have been like had we ever gotten sent to prison, which you're not going to get sent to prison very often unless you get caught. And again, I bet there isn't a secret escape route in all the prisons, just maybe Windhelm. He's not there.
Staying safe, I hope.
So slowly they're making their way this way.
The Imperials think we need their laws.
It's so silly. The game is programmed to have these characters act out everything when really they should have just walked through one door and then disappeared and appeared in the next section. That way they don't get stuck on walls, they don't have glitches, and I don't have to sit here and watch them actually walk. So now he's just waiting to be put in prison. And see, they were saying he was dangerous, and he seems to be cooperating completely.
In you go.
And they've programmed all of this here. And I'm just wondering if maybe I can talk again. This guy's got a different helmet.
Those Whiterun gods can take down the dragon. So can we.
Alright.
Whatever you've heard I can do is probably true.
And there's no conversation there.
Strength and steel are well and good, but magic is the true power.
So that was all just a waste of time.
Wonder what it's like for those Thalmor, now that they've been taken down a notch.
Balgruuf won't give us a straight answer.
He's a true Nord. He'll come around.
Don't be so sure.
Let's see.
Stormcloaks are finding victory across the land.
And
The Empire's putting a great deal of pressure on White.
Travel safely.
And what would
how would I buy a house?
Garmar. He'll size you up and see where we can best use your talents.
Let's see. At Helgen they said you shouted the king to death.
Not entirely true. Though not entirely false either. Any Nord can learn the way of the voice by studying with the Greybeards, given enough ambition and dedication. My shouting Torg to the ground proved he had neither. However, it was my sword piercing his heart that killed him.
So that's how he became the Jarl. And why did you kill the High King? I don't even really care. Enough. So
he knows that.
That's another quest done, and we were waiting for something to happen, and it's not happened.
Asura star? How can such a thing be possible?
Ah.
I have to wonder. What does the Dragonborn do once he's been summoned by the Greybeards?
I haven't done much for him since I've been summoned by the Greybeards. And I don't own the house though. I know I don't own this house. I mean, I could probably sleep here. Certainly, but let's see. Would I want to? Unless I could find a deed to the house somewhere in the house, which that would be a little weird. And I'd like the blood to be cleaned off. I wouldn't hate to have to live in this house forever. And I'd like all of that to be fixed too. But if I don't buy this house, it must be another house that you buy. Because I know it's one of these. House of the Clan Cruelty and High Germ Room. And see, the fact that that doesn't say it belongs to anybody tells me that that's the one you purchase. I just don't remember how you go about purchasing it. House of the Clan Shadow Shield. Viola's house. She was living right next to it.
My father says we need to just get on with our lives. Like it's that easy.
Who would want to live right next to the cemetery? Have to walk through it every day? That would be annoying. Let's talk to this guy.
Working in Windhelm is great. I get to see Ulfric up close.
Sounds like you really admire him.
Every Nord should admire Ulfric. He fights for all of us. In fact, he's the reason I chose to learn the smithing trade. I want to make weapons and armor for the great Stormcloak army. Smithing isn't the most exciting thing for me, but we all have to lend a hand as best we can. If a Stormcloak uses one of my swords to strike down an Imperial soldier, then I've done my part to free our land.
See, there's this inherent issue here. If you don't have any patriotism for a specific country, so in this case, if you don't love the Legion, which nobody playing this video game would love the Legion unless perhaps they played a previous Elder Scrolls game and there was an explanation for that, you're always going to, particularly if you're from the United States and believe in independent rule, you're almost certainly going to side with the rebels in this case, trying to rule themselves. The Stormcloaks is what they call themselves, and so I just don't see how anybody would ever take that choice and play with the region, particularly since the Legion is trying to kill you. So we've done all of that. We need to go over to here to do the white file, which I believe is another Daedric thing, and then I'm pretty sure we don't have anything else. So starting next recording, I'm gonna just kind of walk this way. I'm waiting for somebody to run up to me, a courier, to hand me a note, or an assassin trying to kill me, and then a note. But I think it's a courier that is gonna happen. If it doesn't happen by the time we finish the white file, we're gonna have to start the Assassin's Quest a different way, which is fine by me. Also only have 40 more carry weight to hold on to, so I need to probably, before I start the Assassin's Quest, run back to the house and do as quick of a sorting run as I can. Let's see. And there's like nothing else after the Assassin's Creed. I keep wanting to say Assassin's Creed. I mean, after the Assassin's Quest, the Dark Brotherhood quests, which we've done one of already. We only have then the Civil War quests, and we can see the Daedric quests we've done are 7 of 15. I can't imagine where the other 8 are. I could probably figure about 3 more, but we're gonna probably miss about 5. We've done the companions all the way through, we've done the college all the way through, and the thieves all the way through. But there is no list here for the bards because they're not really a quest line. So we could go do the bards if we want, but it's not going to do anything other than move our side quests forward, or miscellaneous objectives forward. We're going to have to try to do more miscellaneous objectives after a while if we can't unlock anything new. Anywho, that's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment if you want to, and watch every second of my videos. All of that helps out. If you want to support me further, you can go to my main YouTube page. On the right, there's a blue button that says support this channel. Click it, make a donation. And please follow and friend me on all the social media links that are down below in the description. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.